Well, welcome everyone. It's great to be here. I'm so glad that small business owners see the need to really focus on themselves because it's not always about what you do, it's who you are that really makes a difference and how we get in our own way. So I'm not here to psychoanalyze you, but I'm here to give you some great coaching tools and tips that will help you move your business forward. And some of you may be starting a business, some of you may have been in a business for a while. And some of the common things that I hear that people describe to me are that they get it their own way because they procrastinate, or they don't go out and do the networking, or they for some reason don't ask for business. They don't charge for their business when they actually get it. So there's all kinds of ways that we get in our own way. So I have worked with over 6 years as a result coach with Anthony Robbins. I've helped people move past limitations that were really incredible, and they were able to overcome their difficulties because they got in their mindset what they really wanted, and that is huge when it comes to success. So the advanced energy psychology methods that I've learned through the years really get to that deeper layer of the subconscious. And we're going to talk a little bit about how you can help yourself get there so that maybe you don't have to go into a lot of therapy. But, you know, what I do is I work with coaching people to get past those limiting belief patterns and barriers. And I have over 25 years of experience to offer you. So that's my background. And let's just step into kind of helping you get out of your box. You know, some of us have a box, we can't see past it. So let's step out of that. And I'm going to show you the first area that I find people have difficulty with. And that is that we have a lot of myths around money. Would you agree that many times we believe that maybe the first myth is there's not enough? I found when I read this book, this is taken from The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist, and she came up with these 3 myths, which I think are very common, that some people walk around believing that there's not enough, that somehow they're threatened by their competitors. Now, when you think about that, a competitor may not really be a competitor because they're a different person. You know, it's taken me a while to figure this out, but that people are attracted to an individual person. And you buy a car from a salesman that you love because you connect with them. And so there's many people that may do similar businesses. I find in my field there are quite a few, but we all are different, and so we attract different people, and I think it's important to realize that. And if you go around with this belief that, oh, the economy's bad or there's not enough business to be had, then guess what shows up? Not enough business. So we don't want to be thinking there's not enough. The second myth that people typically hold to is that somehow in our society, you would probably see this, that more is better. There's some type of philosophy that we believe we have to accumulate more, we have to continue to drive ourselves to make more money, to drive more business. I think it's sort of an addictive thing that we get into, and you don't see this in other cultures as much as you see it here in America. And I think we're faced with a new economy where people are feeling somewhat less. You know, there is less to be had. And so what happens is a person can create, you know, a lot of debt, or they can buy things that perhaps aren't the best for their business, or they get kind of roped into things, which I know at times I think, oh, I need more training. You know, I need to get more training. Well, today I made a decision that I didn't need more training because somebody else was trying to sell me something on the lines of a coach program. And I said, you know what, I have enough already in my bank of resources that I just want to draw from what I already know. And I find that it's typical that we kind of get into that addictive philosophy. The third myth is that that's just the way it is. How many of you feel sometimes like, well, you know, I can't change things, or, you know, I can't empower myself to do anything different. It's always been this way. And that's just bogus, because really we have tremendous potential. Our brains can do all kinds of things if we allow them to, but somehow because of the past programming and because of some of the present, we really don't allow ourselves to get out of our own way there and realize the potential, the possibilities that we have to develop new business or to develop existing business. So I just leave you with those 3 common myths because those are very, very important to begin to understand in yourself. If you carry one of those beliefs, it may go back to some of the history of what you've been brought up with. In my family, I'll just give you this little intro to the way I was brought up. I actually was brought up with a lot of nice material things. I grew up in a family, my father was a doctor, and we had a lot. But can you believe that even when people have a lot, that they fear it? They fear that somehow they're going to lose it. And whenever we bought new clothes, my mother and I would just bring those clothes quickly into the closet so my dad would not see them. So that's kind of what I grew up with. And so you can have a lot or you can have very little that you grew up with, and you can still be struggling. Okay, so let's look at a money mindset map. I developed this map because I found that as I've worked with people through the years, they carry with them some type of belief that is affecting their money values. And as you look at this, you see the very center is who the person is. Okay, so out of who we are, we walk around with rules or vows that we formed. Some of the rules might be because we grew up in the South, which I did, but some of them may just be vows that we grew up with, that I'll never be able to trust, others, or I'll never be able to find people that I can, engage with that really like the service that I offer. So that's a very strong belief. That's a vow when you say, I never can do something, or I always will be this way, or rules about women can't make a decent living, or, whatever it is, we walk around with those types of beliefs or vows. And then there's also the disempowering beliefs that I don't deserve to be successful. Now, that one seems kind of funny because I think everyone is in a small business believes there's some worth and value that you offer, or you wouldn't be in it. But if I ask people, what would be uncomfortable about your business if you really got it going 6 months from now? You would be amazed at what people tell me. They would say, oh, I wouldn't deserve that, or, I couldn't keep up with it, or maybe it would be that I don't know if I'm good enough for that. So there's all kinds of deserve values that people have, and I tend to kind of hone in on that when I talk to people and coach them, because I find that really can get in your own way. The other thing that happens in our society is we have habitual behaviors, and these behaviors tend to be ingrained. We may find that we've gotten into credit card use, and that hadn't helped us at all because we don't have good credit, or we just find that others have habitual behaviors that get in their way, so they can't do business with us because of that. So that's one thing I look at. The other thing are values. To be spiritual is to be poor. Well, how silly is that? But some people have grown up with that wow, I can't make money. I'm a Christian, or I need to really serve others. I need to give to the poor, or there's just those types of values. There can also be values around I can't be on my own. I can't have my own business. I need to work for somebody else. And I know at times I have felt like I needed to work for somebody else because it was easier to make money for them than it was for my own business. So you might keep that in mind. And then family beliefs, we need to save for a rainy day, that came out of the Depression years when our parents didn't, they were concerned about money, and so there was always this saving mentality. But sometimes if money's not flowing, and you'll learn a little bit about this through my presentation, if it's not flowing well, then we're holding back on money coming in. So sometimes I've spent more just to bring the more flow. Not that I'd overspend, but just not be hoarding, all my cash. And then the last area is, again, the gender and cultural beliefs. Women can't make more than men, or men are more powerful or can have a business on their own. And so all those kind of beliefs come up. All right.